All right, so thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today, all the TPO board members. Good morning. My name is Daniel Iglesias. I am the FDOT Director of Transportation Development. Before we get started and as we make our way to the 836 and eventually the Palmetto, I'd like to really thank Eileen and Alice and their staff for helping us put this event together. At the last TPO board meeting, when we took this item in front of the TPO board, it was suggested that we have a Palmetto project tour to be able to really explain how we intend to improve two things on this project. This project is really about two things and two things only. It's about improving congestion. There is congestion on the free lanes, the untolled lanes on the Palmetto Expressway. And there's also access issues to the express lanes on the Palmetto Expressway. And these two things are going to be addressed with this project. Before you guys walked on the bus, you received a handout, an 11 by 17 aerial map. This map is really going to illustrate a lot of the points that we'll be hitting on today. And as you exit the bus, we'll also have another handout for you, with some additional key information that will explain a little bit more about the project. I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce the FDOT team that's with me here today, starting with Javier Manso, who is our consultant lead engineer from HDR Engineering, Raul Quintela, who is our FDOT project manager sitting here on the right, and Tish Berger, who is our communications manager sitting on the back there.
She's good. She gets a lot of
She does a great job. I'll wait for the recording to stop. So, what we're going to see today is really two phases of the project. We're going to drive along 836 to get to the Palmetto Expressway, and then we're going to see the improvements that have already been constructed along the northbound side of the project. Those improvements added capacity to the free lanes because there was congestion in the northbound direction as well. And the way we did that on the northbound side of the project is a little different than the way we're going to do it on the southbound side of the project. So you'll get to see a little bit more as Javier talks in detail about what we did. But in essence, we took advantage of an existing construction contract that we had ongoing to be able to repurpose one of the two express lanes on the northbound side of the Palmetto to add that lane back to the untolled free lanes in that direction. So you'll get to see some striping and some pavement work on the floor of the Palmetto, on the pavement of the Palmetto, that shows how we shifted that lane over. And then as we turn around, we'll focus on phase two of the project as we go in the southbound direction. And that's really the focus of this tour today. We want to be able to explain to the TPO board how we intend to add an untolled lane, a free lane in the southbound direction to be able to add additional capacity, okay? And that's going to be really focused on moving a column at 103rd Street. 103rd Street serves as a pinch point along the Palmetto Expressway. It's really the worst bottleneck that we have on the corridor. And in order for us to get the room in there to add the additional lane, we really need to move that column over. And so Javier will go into detail on how we're going to do that and how we intend to do that. And the goal here really is to have an understanding on how we really are going to improve congestion. That's the end game here. One of the additional benefits that I mentioned is to add access to Hialeah and Miami Lakes. Hialeah and Miami Lakes, obviously, two of the biggest municipalities in this area. The express lanes right now don't serve those communities. And so one of the things that we're going to do with this project is shift the entrance point to the express lanes down to 122nd or to 103rd Street to allow traffic from Hialeah and Miami Lakes to access them. That in combination with the capacity improvements that we're going to have with the new lane will be able to relieve the congestion through this area. So that, in a nutshell, is my overview. I'll see if Javier wants to add anything while we get to the Palmetto, and then we'll begin the tour. And I'll open it up to any comments or questions now. Hi, Alice.
Hi, Annie.
No, it's not.
Hello?
No.
Hello?
Can you hear Alice back there, Tish? Okay.
Raul, your mic? You have the other mic? Yep.
How's that? Is that better?
That's better.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to maybe summarize to make sure. So basically, a few years ago, FDOT widened the highway and added an extra lane.
Yes.
And at first, you used that lane and one of the already existing lanes to be express lanes.
Yes.
But now, in the northbound direction, you've kind of put it back.
Yes.
That new lane you built a couple of years ago will be the single express lane, and you have the same number of general lanes that you had before.
That's correct.
So you've already done that in the northbound.
Yes.
That's what we're going to see. And then you're planning to do that for the most part in the southbound.
Correct. What
And there's that big pier on 103rd Street. That's a problem. And we're going to stop there and see how you're going to deal with that pier, which I think was a big question at the TPO meeting.
Right.
And everybody in Hialeah will have improved access
Yes.
to
So
and from Hialeah.
right. Exactly. It's really about adding an additional lane to the untold lanes, which today have been has been reduced. If you go through the bottleneck at 103rd Street, you really have 3 general purpose lanes and 2 express lanes. The congestion that we're seeing there as the Palmetto necks down to those 3 lanes and then opens up after 103rd Street is an issue. And it's the biggest issue along the corridor, really, because we don't have the capacity that we need. How do we get that capacity back? Well, we have to repurpose an express lane to a general purpose lane, and that's happening north of 103rd. But then we also need to add a lane. And in order to really add a lane, we need to move what's preventing us from widening the Palmetto. And that's that column. And so in order for us to be able to create the 12 feet that we need to do something to move that column over. So yes, we are in essence restoring back an express lane to a general purpose lane, but it's a little more than that. We're also adding additional lanes through here to improve some of the things that we're seeing with the traffic and congestion.
And when we get back on the Palmetto, we're going to go northbound. Pay attention to the inside where the plastic poles are. In the northbound direction from 36th Street north, you're going to see brand new pavement, and that's where the plastic poles used to be, and then they got moved to the inside. And then you're going to see that additional lane coming from 36th Street all the way to Miami Lakes. And then between Okeechobee and 103rd is where we reconfigure the entrance and the exit, so that before you only able to get in, you were not able to get out. So if you were coming from the south and you wanted to get north to Hialeah or Miami Lakes, you were not able to do so. You'll be able to do that now. So that you're going to see that on is between Okeechobee and 103rd. So if you're coming from the south, from the general lanes, and you want to go on the express lanes to go north to Broward on I-75, you get on Okeechobee. And if you were coming from the south, right here, there's an entrance right here on 836 going northbound to get on the express lane. You can then get off at 103rd to be able to exit to 122nd or the Gratney or Miami Lakes.
We'll have an opportunity, like Alice mentioned, to really get down at 103rd. We're going to get down the ramp and really kind of stop the bus so that we can discuss on how we intend to really move that column over, because that's really what HDR as a consultant is focused on in the engineering of how to get that done without having to close the flyover down and simplify the construction. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll have a good opportunity, I think, to talk about that and other questions you might have at that point as well.
Danny, can you explain the exact amendment, the exact
Yes.
request of the amendment coming to the board?
So the item in front of the board, and really what we would like to take back at the December board meeting also, is a tip amendment, because we'd like to start the PD&E and the design phase of the project in current year, right? For the southbound portion, phase 2 is what we're calling. So there is some work as part of phase 2 in the northbound direction, but that's structural work to really restore shoulders. The amendment is to do the design work for the southbound project.
And the amount?
It's $3.5 million. It's $500,000 for the study, and then the design phase will be $3 million. We intend to do that concurrently. So that's really what we're striving for here.
And we're getting to 25th Street.
Okay,
Right.
great.
So The project limits for the project start on just north of 25th Street, between 25th and Okeechobee, in the northbound direction. All we're really doing is signing work. We're No,
there
for
is
this-
additional work.
For this project, we need to restore signing work. So it's going to be just proposed signing, cameras that we need to fix that we were not able to do with the project that was recently completed. So from north of 25th to Okeechobee, there is no roadway work. It's mostly signing, cameras. That is the only work that we're doing between here and Okeechobee.
Okay. So before here there were 2 express lanes.
Not yet.
Not yet.
North.
North.
Once we get to 36, you're gonna notice how the pavement is already kind of light gray. On 36th Street, you're gonna notice the dark pavement, black pavement, where the older express lane used to be, and then we moved the plastic post.
On one side. Yeah, there's a reason for that.
So we're approaching 36th Street now.
Yeah, you can pass. Right. So right after we get over the hump.
I think the most important thing is 103rd.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We're
on the
gonna
other
we're
side.
gonna get
Yeah.
off there.
Yeah.
103rd is what's going to make
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna get off there.
And Commissioner, you'll see when we get there. There's marking where the column is gonna go. I think it'll illustrate really how much we really need to move that column, which is minimal, to create the 12 feet that we need for that additional lane. So it's not a significant feat that we're trying to attempt, and we feel confident that it can be moved and create that room to be able to widen the Palmetto. So we'll see that. We'll see it.
Yep. So right here, we're coming up on this is the work that was just completed, and it's going to be a similar work that we're going to be doing in the southbound direction, starting on Miami Lakes Drive.
Right.
So the dark pavement is where the second express lane used to be, and where the poles used to be, and then the poles got moved over to have a single express lane, and then that lane was then created as a general use lane. So for the most, all of this then added that additional capacity between 36 all the way to Miami Lakes. And then once you get to the Okeechobee to 103rd, you're going to notice that the entire pavement has been resurfaced. That's the area that we reconfigured to allow for people to be able to get in and get out.
You said Miami Lakes.
To be able to,
It wasn't before Miami Lakes that you guys had the lane.
yeah, the express lane ended just before Miami Lakes Drive.
Okay, so what about the Miami Lakes residents? They can't jump on.
They on the southbound direction,
Yes.
they will be able to get on at 103rd if they want to continue south on the express lanes.
They have to endure that traffic.
Right, but they all.
What you're saying is they're going to have to. Hello? No.
Hello.
That one.
So what you're saying is the people from Miami Lakes, they'll get on, and they're going to have to endure that traffic until they get to 103rd.
But they will have an additional lane that was added as
But why
capacity
would
to
they
the.
get on?
Right. So
They-
If
they'll-
you had it open at Miami Lakes, then they could consider trying getting on the fast lane. But if not, why would you do it? After you
Right.
get past 103rd, you're pretty much clear.
Today, when we come around, the lane opens right on Miami Lakes Drive. So if you get on Miami Lakes Drive, you would
154?
154th.
yeah,
You wouldn't be able to get on it from there. You will have to go to 67 or 57 to get back on it.
Yeah, today you can't get on from Miami Lakes. With this change, you'll be able to get on at 103rd.
If you
So-
want to do the longer trip to go all the way down south.
And
to
in
like-
order to get you there, you'll have an additional free lane to help with the congestion.
That's where a lot of the bottleneck happens because 75th also, I-75 connects on that area. So that's
Yes.
I think the
Right.
question the commissioner was
Right.
asking. That's
It-
for
it's
the
sort
Miami
of
Lakes resident. That's a little bit more complicated.
yeah. So the bottleneck starts at in this area there starts at 103rd. So we're trying to fix that 103rd, adding the additional lane between Okeechobee and 103rd, converting the additional express lane.
R-
There's no way you could do it on 154 because you're going to have
There's no way you could do it on 154 because you're going to have this coming in from I-75 because it makes a logical sense for the people coming from Fort Lauderdale or whatever, Broward County.
Right.
And Yeah, it comes all the way from back there. Yeah. So you're not gonna. It's mostly meant for that longer transportation, as opposed for those residents from Miami Lakes and that surrounding area of Hialeah and stuff to be able to take advantage of it. They
Right.
won't be able to if they're going southbound.
Yeah, they're going to have to. No doubt, they're going to have to stay in the free or the untolled lanes up to 103rd to get on the express lanes if they choose to get on. But remember,
The most. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
The most important
If
traffic that we have.
here's the exit that was added.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
get
that exit wasn't there
because
before.
This traffic actually starts before 58. This traffic starts on 36
Right.
in the afternoons.
Yes.
evening. So actually, this starts here, where the traffic kind of ends right after here. Right after 103 is the bottleneck of
Right.
everything.
yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause there's only three regular lanes right now that it goes into three lanes and then it necks down. And that's the one we're going to try to fix by adding the lane. Oop. Sorry.
I just want to be real clear. If we're doing something like this, it's got to be for the greater good of all.
sure.
Of course.
Okay, and it seems like it's a limited scope as to who really could take advantage of it,
Well,
which I don't have a problem with. But the ideal thing would be that everybody
eh,
could kind of take advantage with it, and I would love to see some engineering to that. But I don't see you guys really proposing that in what I read of everything here.
right. I think we try to optimize the solution, Commissioner, and I'll explain why. Yes, Miami Lakes traffic that wants to get on the express lanes has to travel to 103rd, but they're gonna have an extra lane to do it in. So we're trying to mitigate that additional time that they're gonna be in an untold lane by adding an additional lane. Then when they get there, they're gonna be able to, if they choose, jump on the express lanes. Today they don't have that choice.
Because you took out one lane.
We're gonna
Caused all the bottleneck.
we're gonna be taking out the express
Well, you
lane.
got 2 lanes, but you created a lane.
Yes.
So
Yes.
You really only took out one lane.
Yes.
Right.
One lane has caused all that backup.
One lane will help significantly.
No,
Yep.
because you're giving it back. I get it.
Right.
Yeah, you're giving it back.
Yes.
So I want to see how you're going to be able to do that.
Right.
Right.
We'll explain that.
That's what we're requesting.
Right.
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 And this, so
One thing is
Hello.
the Miami Lakes residents, I can tell you, because 24 years ago, 23 years ago, I used to live in Miami Lakes. And before it was and the problem I had going to Coral Gables would be that bottleneck between 154th and 103rd. After that, it got better.
right.
So if I was going to Hialeah, I'd just go through the streets. I wouldn't
Yeah.
take the Palmetto because I knew it would be worse.
I work in Miami Lakes and I live in Doral, so I live Palmetto every day,
It's off your barrel.
in and out.
Yes.
So that traffic that you're talking about is the traffic that I live every day. That's the commute that I have every day.
So he's the right guy for the job.
In fact, the express lanes, I cannot use them, me personally, because I get on Miami Lakes, so I cannot use them. And then the exit is beyond my exit, which is 25th. So my exit is either 58 or 36. So I cannot use them, the express lanes. The additional lane will help me.
There's no way to get on today.
Yeah. I will have to, and I tried it before. I guess the engineer, I timed myself. If it will take me longer from Miami Lakes, where I live, where I work, to go to 67th, go through the 67th Avenue traffic, that interchange, get on it, to get on the express lanes, to go home, and it didn't work out for me. I spent more time trying to get in there. It was faster later, but I couldn't get on the express lanes. So it has its purpose. It has the origin destination of people going and where they're trying to serve. The other thing that we were tied to in the southbound direction and in the northbound is to serve the park and ride. There's the park and ride at 74th Street that we needed to maintain that accessibility for the buses that are using the express lanes.
The
Park
one
and ride
74.
at 74th Street at the the Metro Rail station. So the location of the exit on Okeechobee and the entrance on Okeechobee is there so that the buses can get to when they get on 74th or get off to be able to weave out and get out to 74th. to serve the park and ride at the Metro Rail station.
Are you guys aware of the new? Are you guys aware of the new Amazon station that's going next to that bus station?
No.
I've heard.
Okay. I suggest you do look into
Yeah,
it.
I've heard
because
about
the
that.
amount of
Distribution
trips
center?
are going to be coming out of there for those
Yeah.
vehicles compared to the buses.
Right now they're operating near the International Mall, right? Or like where the old Sears used to be?
I think they're gone hard already.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you need to look at what your plans are and look at what they're approving to do,
Right.
so you don't get that backup of vehicles, because that's already no man's land there.
Yeah.
The backups that happen in that particular area
Yeah.
are incredible.
One of the things with this project that we're trying to do to fix that, and we'll send this up on, is when you get on from
Hey, by the way,
Okeechobee,
where the heck are we going?
we need to turn around on 67, so that you can see the beginning of the express. No, 67 is coming up.
Oh, because you're going to
Yeah, we'll do a U-turn and then we'll hit around the curve.
So when we turn around on when we turn around, the beginning of the job is also north of north of 67. That's the beginning of the job, mostly in the southbound direction, because we need to then work on the signing that needs to be fixed because the express lanes are moving. So we need to move signs with it.
It's still very hard to get off on 103rd with going from the expressway. It's just at peak traffic. I would never do it. I go crazy.
Well, a peak, yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, it's just that I'm just saying that it'd be very hard. It's still super hard to get off on the express lane just because the traffic that's there is too great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you just need to press it once because it
Danny,
goes.
besides the amendment, when are you coming back with the construction, and what is the cost of the construction, so that they're aware?
The
approval of the
construction-
amendment then brings the next phase, which is the construction.
Right.
When is
The,
it
the
coming?
construction will be in next year's tip, and there will be $30 million for construction, and another for the southbound part, the pier, the column relocation, and the column relocation.
No.
Well, no,
no.
there's a lot of other things that we have to do with.
Yeah, but
that.
it's not only the column. 30 is for the. There's also the milling, resurfacing, and there's a couple of bridge widenings as
Yeah.
part of the job.
the
Where did the 300 million come from?
no
300.
30
30
million.
3 0.
Before.
I'm not
300.
sure.
Number stated for the whole project for 300 something million.
No. It's 30 million for construction,
I don't know.
$3.5 million for the design and the studying, and then a couple $1 million because we want a bonus on the construction. So the total amount of the project is like maybe $40 million.
Where was the rest of the money coming from?
I'm not sure.
The first thing they told us when this project developed was about.
Hello?
When this project first came out, it was 300 and something $million.
No,
Not this.
Cost of the express lane, maybe?
no, it might have been the Palmetto South project, Commissioner, which is a different
I
project.
don't know. I remember that number. I don't know if anybody else, but I remember that number.
Yeah, this
So-
is
That's
this
what
is,
threw me out because
No,
Okay.
no.
Coming up is the beginning of the express lanes, and the way that the express lane begins is, if you see today here we only have 3 lanes. That outside lane, it got split into 2, and that was the beginning of the express lane here from Miami Lakes Drive. So that was a brand new lane. It was not there before. So the express lanes from Miami Lakes, when it starts here, it was a brand new lane. It was not there before. And then the plastic poles are going to start coming up. Those will be removed. So that additional lane will become a regular lane.
listen, I understand your point of view and what you're trying to do. Is that you gave another lane and people were happy though because they thought it would be shortening their wait time.
Right.
But then when you put in the managed lanes, you took a lane away.
The one down south.
Everybody got
yeah.
upset because myself, I'm coming from on I-75 from my daughter's house, and I stood for 40 minutes thinking it was an accident. It was just the normal pattern of traffic
we're going to
before getting to 103.
Right.
Yeah.
103.
we're
Yeah.
going to
Right up on right where I-75 and 154, not 154, 138.
138.
138.
138.
Yeah.
We're going to fix that, Commissioner, with this, and we'll extend that additional untolled lane down to 74th Street. So
But you're
that's
still going to have control managed lanes.
we will have an express lane. but
The
it would be-
I-75, the I-75. So this the one that is back here, this is the one that started on Miami Lakes.
Correct.
This plastic post will be removed.
This
and
is
it will
going to
be
become an
a regular
untolled
lane.
lane, a regular lane.
This one right here.
Yes, this lane will be a regular lane again.
This one was a brand
Yeah,
new lane. That was
yeah,
there
but
before. The
see-
one from I-75.
I get that. All it does is move a lot more people closer to getting stuck up here.
So
So
Hello?
unless you take the bottleneck away,
that's what we're
and we
going to
are.
talk
I,
about.
I get that.
Yeah.
I just want to see
Yeah.
how they're
Yeah.
going to take the bottleneck. Because I've had engineers tell me in the past, because when this was being done in the first place, my question was, why are you putting that pillar there? And I was said that there was the only way they could do it to hold the weight capacity of that
Of the
overfly
bridge.
Okay.
situation.
When we go out there, we'll
Unless
talk
you
about
guys
it.
created some new cement and some new
No,
stuff, I want to know what the heck it is.
We'll talk about how we're going to do that.
So at some point here, you're going to start widening the highway to add an extra new lane that's not here now, right?
At 103rd. So
At 103rd.
over-
No, no, no.
No, no.
At 103rd, and that's why they're going to move the column.
Yes.
So they're going to build a physical new lane.
So right
Not
here,
yet.
there are the two express lanes right here.
Not yet.
One of those will be a general purpose, a regular lane. So right now, the I-75 express lane will be the only express lane going south. And the one that started from Miami Lakes is going to be the additional lane. So this lane right here, there's two express lanes. There will only be one.
You're
And
going to
the ad-
move the poles.
And the addition, basically, it gives back that lane that got taken, that was converted to.
Let me get this right. If you take a lane away and give it one lane, okay, one lane, all right? Okay, now I want you to look at something. What time of the day is it?
Is 11:10 lunchtime.
This right here has never happened until we did those lanes.
Right.
Look at the backup.
Right.
And we're already on the lane to go to the right.
Correct.
So this is a backup I was talking about when I said back in
Right.
the day. This backup goes all the way to 138,
Agree.
okay, in the afternoon and in the mornings. Okay? It's the
Agree.
way it is. Now we get
So-
one lane back according to what I'm hearing. Plus, we get an additional lane that you're going to put over there.
Right.
So we get two lanes back.
No, so
and you
that-
only have one because
so
that's
the-
what I heard. I just want to make
So
sure.
let me. Sorry. The lane that we take back over here, once we get to 103rd, that lane, same way we did in the northbound direction, that lane turns into the express lane system, and then you have an option to then exit again right after. So at 103rd, the way it does today is you have the express lanes beginning on Miami Lakes Drive, and that's where the entrance was. We're basically moving that entrance to 103rd.
Okay, stop again. You're saying Miami Lakes because that's a general facility area.
Miami
of where
Lakes
it starts.
Drive, Miami Lakes Drive.
But it doesn't really start at Miami Lakes Drive. It doesn't start at 154. That lane starts before 154.
Yes.
So there's no way they could get on it at 154.
Right, right.
So I want to get that real clear.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, yeah. What I mean,
Because-
Miami Lakes Drive is basically right on top of it. So, like, if you were on the ramp trying to get on, you would not be able to get on.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Right. Yeah. It's the I'm talking more about the geographical, like, right about the location. Once we get here to 103rd, just over 103rd, we're gonna add a lane here,
And we'll pull
And
off here and we'll
we'll come
take
off.
a look.
and the additional lane of the express lane. Let me slow down here. Can you see the box?
Yeah, I mean, there's behind traffic, so we'll have to wait. Okay, so this is the column. The main scope of the project is moving this column.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you spray paint it?
So
Obviously, as
when the
you-
cars come over, sorry, go ahead, Dan.
No, I was just gonna say, obviously, this column pinches down the Palmetto. There's nothing we can do to add a lane on the Palmetto without moving this
Hello.
thing over. Go ahead. Okay.
I'm saying, let me see. If you see there's like an orange paint. It's a little
sorry.
bit hard to see from this angle, but okay, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, it's very close to where the existing pier is.
I'll call you a little later. All right, bye.
Feel free if you guys want to kind of come up and see it, you might be able to see it a little bit better. It's very close to where the existing column is.
If you were
Yes.
Sure.
so right here, probably, or here. So the column
Yes.
is right here. What we're gonna do is there's already a big
Okay,
foundation
so-
underneath it supporting the column today.
Yeah,
We're gonna
so
basically take that column
this column,
and we're gonna
what we're gonna do is
move
we're
it
gonna build
and
two new
rotate it,
columns
still using
around
the
this
existing
one
foundation that is out there
and
today.
rotate them.
The way we're gonna do
Where
that,
is it gonna go?
So that when they're
The way we're gonna
shifted
do
and
that is-
rotated,
Am
we
I out?
gain 12
Yeah.
feet on
So,
the top.
we're gonna build
And
two
that's all we
columns.
need for a lane.
I
Okay,
just
we got 2 meetings going.
So
Let's-
what we do is we build the new columns.
okay.
The flyover, the load of the flyover gets shifted onto those two new columns.
Yeah. Oh,
And then that existing column in the middle gets demolished and filled. Okay? And that's how we rotate that.
Explain one more time because I want to make sure there's one voice.
Sure, Javier, go ahead. I'll let Javier, who's the engineer, do it. But
Okay, so
The column that's marked with the orange.
yeah, the new column is gonna mark with the orange. So the existing column today is basically orienting this way.
North side.
And what we need to do in the final configuration, we need to take the column that is facing, kind of orienting this way. We need to basically
that's
make
by
it.
rotate.
six.
It's a 6 by 15
Or you can-
approximately or so. And we're gonna
The new column.
The new column is gonna be 8 by 18.
Okay, because that column is not 6 by 15.
7 by 15 or so. I'm trying
Telling me
to
there's 15 feet on that column.
that way.
Really?
There's no 15 feet there, bro. Sorry.
No, you know,
That might be 6 or 7 feet.
it's hard to tell.
it is hard to tell.
I'll go measure that shit right now.
We don't want you to get it. We don't want you to get it.
I got the plans. I'll send you the plans.
We thought about getting down, but we didn't think it was safe to do so.
No.
But
Not in South Florida, driver.
But the way we want to do it is that what we're gonna do is we're gonna build 2 new columns in front of it and going up, and then we're gonna build a new cap on the top to support the existing bridge.
I'm going to have to see a diagram.
We
really
have
don't.
one, Commissioner. We can send
It
you.
doesn't, from here, you know, it doesn't look at first glance, but I guess we'd have to get off and.
Listen, guys. Look at the next column. That's the same size as that column. Okay? I've been in construction all my life. I can see something very differently. See that column right there? It's the same size as that column.
I'm
Have-
6 feet tall. So you mean to tell me if I lay down next to the column,
That column is not
it's
15
twice
feet
my
wide.
height,
Hold on.
Yeah.
plus 3 feet?
Maybe. I'll give you 7 feet. And that's not going to be a lie.
Javier, I don't know if you have the.
I'm trying to.
the
It's the
drawing.
one that I left in the
It-
Start
per-
it out.
here.
We can stop traffic
Here, look, guys, right here.
across the street.
Look, this is the
That's the new plans.
so the orange box
Commissioner, I
here
don't know if
is
you
the
wanna
orange
take a
box
look
that
at
they
what he's
painted
showing.
over
He's
there.
showing,
That's the 8 by 18.
the plans.
This one right here, this dash, is the existing column, and is 7 by 15 or 16 feet. So you see, this right here is the distance from the wall to the point. It's 19 feet.
We were talking the size of the actual column.
Right, the size of the actual. This right
You're
here
telling the column is 16, almost 17 feet by
by 7 feet.
7 feet? With all due respect, I don't think so. But
Let's get out and check it.
check it.
I can send.
We can get down. We can really, it stay here.
I
On the
gotta.
side? Yeah. We can get down. We can get down. Stay, I would stay here in front of the
Let me turn off the.
Yeah, let's just make sure we're careful when we cross.
Come outside. You just record on your phone.
Okay. Javier?
Please stay only in the shoulder area, please.
Is
All right,
what's
thank
what's me? If you guys, I mean, we have a crosswalk there. We can kind of.
I'll try my best.
It's the depth is misleading. It's not perpendicular
It's
to
the,
what we were
it's
looking.
the angle that's
It's at
misleading.
an angle.
See,
It's
you don't see it
oriented
from over
with-
there, but it's when you see it here. So we're gonna shift it and gain just by rotating it. We gain space up there. We can move this wall
Yeah,
over.
yeah, it's
that lane
misleading.
in.
What I'm looking at here, I couldn't tell you.
Forget-
Yeah.
So, with that said and done, how the heck are you going to move this to that
It's not a toll lane. It's a free lane.
on the other side?
No.
And
So
it
what we're
improves
gonna do is, you see the box right here.
from Hialeah.
This will be the new
Yes.
column. The orange is going to be the new column. It's going to be 16, 18 by.
With the width down this
Yes, we need to take this big boy, and then do this. But we need to keep the cap the same way.
makes sense.
Yeah, and we're going to do that by. We yes
11 feet.
no. Move the wall move 11, 12 feet over. And the lanes it starts from the beginning. And what we're gonna do is on the ramp over here, we're gonna start the ramps right now are like 12-foot ramps, 12-foot lane ramps. And we're gonna transition to 11-foot lanes. So we need to move this lane right here. We'll move 3 or 4 feet in, so that we can then rotate
And
the
we'll
column.
put a curb
We're
and
gonna have
gutter
a
here. We
gutter
won't have a
barrier.
shoulder.
We're not going to reduce the number of lanes
We're
on the
gonna
ramp.
keep that shoulder in that
Actually,
wall.
that outside lane doesn't move.
Now it makes sense because based on you changing the total design, but still holding the same way,
Yes.
now it makes sense. But based on the way it was designed before, it didn't make any sense. How are you going to do your Texas turnaround?
It stays there.
So this column is going to go.
We're gonna have a curb and
Right.
gutter
It's
here.
gonna have a curb and gutter, and then we'll restripe the turn.
You're going to keep this street right where it's at.
It's gonna shift a little
It's gonna
bit.
shift 3 or 4 feet. We're
Right.
gonna put a curb and gutter with a curb and gutter barrier.
How are you going to get it on this side? Because you got to keep the same width.
Yeah.
Same width and the same number of lanes.
We gain the space. These are 12-foot lanes. We're gonna make them 11-foot lanes. So that gives us the space that we need for the shift.
Which is what we need. We don't need 12 feet here.
Okay, because the mayor was right. This area here, you have to do it,
Oh, super congested. Yes.
and that coming in this way.
Yeah,
Yep.
we would never do this if we had to reduce a lane. We would never do it on this ramp.
Okay, that's the part that we couldn't make sense.
Yes, we would never do it.
That was
If-
the
if
goal. That was the target.
The whole key to this project is being able to rotate this and gain 11 feet up there. That's it. Once we get that done, the whole project opens up and this bottleneck is removed.
But keeping 2 lanes.
Keeping 2 lane, we're adding a general purpose lane up there. We're gonna have the express lanes that are there, and we're gonna have a new lane that's introduced further down that we'll get into.
When the entrance of the lane, the express lane that we removed turns into an express lane here at 103rd after the bridge. That's the entrance. The entrance is
It's going to go to where? Not
Okay. Yeah, we'll take a sanitation break. Thank you, Eileen. No. Nope.
For those passengers that are seated, please remain seated until the bus comes to a full stop. Thank you for choosing Miami-Dade Transit.
No. Li- and this is not. It's not an express lanes project. It's a bottleneck project. It's getting rid of something that's been an issue for us since we built this flyover. Yeah, that's something we'll have to take a look at. So we've got a aside from this, we've to get off at.
was one of the express lanes and political angles. And if you have express lanes, how do you get from there? Because there really was no place for Hialeah and Miami Lakes to get off. Now that's been resolved, as you guys pointed out. It's still crazy. I would do it at peak time.
We looked at where we can place it. Like we looked at basically where it's at, and like the only place where you can meet some sort of other than having a beginning and an end.
Listen, the Palmetto Expressway is a unique animal. It doesn't
Add it up.
function like an expressway. It functions almost like an arterial. People use it for very short trips. People use it to come from one exit to one entrance. There's a lot of friction that creates, and it's unlike any other expressway that we have in Miami.
You're totally right about that. Totally right about that. I think for the commission to change, or to visualize is that additional lane matching up going down south.
We'll see the merge right here, right?
Yeah. But the one thing that
Hello?
I'm not sure if it was getting lost is we're gonna once
Hello?
the express lane that we remove turns into an express lane right at 103rd. But we add a lane also on the outside.
Yeah, that's the access change, right? That's how Hialeah gets in. They get in at 103rd.
Hello?
And then through here we have an additional lane, but then we have 2 lanes that exit, and then
Hello?
they will still have that release. This release right here will still be here. It will just, it's gonna move from a little bit back to like about here. So you will have that additional lane in the inside, and then this condition remains.
Yeah, and you see you've got 4 lanes, right? So you've got
Yeah.
the 4 general purpose, and then you've got the 2 express.
So this condition here, we match existing. We don't change from that point of Okeechobee North. We don't change it. We keep it. And then the merge coming from Okeechobee, that's the merge. That's the merge we're gonna extend.
It's
To
very
se-
abrupt too,
to
so you can see a
74.
lot of people all of a sudden queuing up here.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna, you see, and you can see the friction happening there now. So that lane that it merges now is gonna continue. So you'll be able to get on Okeechobee and then continue to 74th if you wanted to. And then at 74th, the second lane, we're gonna let it go exit or continue, and then we're gonna kill that lane before 74th, because then we run out of room. So basically, through this point right here, we're gonna have one more lane up to 74th, and then we kill it. Because at that point, that's the end of this project. And then the right-of-way comes in very abruptly on the other side.
Yeah, he was talking about this area, the Amazon.
So that's where they're gonna go.
So we've got a study on the Palmetto that's already programmed in our work program that will look at the Palmetto again in its entirety in this area for capacity and operational improvements. As part of that PD&E study, that development, those traffic demands, those forecasts are going to be included. So we'll have that information if that materializes, but that'll be a longer term improvement.
You know, they're going to get on one way or the other. I mean, that's
And the
probably
Palmetto.
gonna be a bunch of
Little
those
trucks.
smaller trucks that are always going. Right now they're parked everywhere. International Mall, they're using part of the parking lot, so
Yeah.
it's just everywhere. We can Amazon it everywhere.
Danny, you don't need an amendment for construction. You're going to come in through the tentative
We'll come in next year.
All right.
Yep.
The only amendment is now, in order for you to advance the design, preliminary design to issue an RFP.
Yes.
In order to come back with a fully funded construction phase
That's
in
correct.
tentative next year.
That's
Perfect.
correct.
What year is your
22.
construction? 20. The construction phase will be
Yeah,
in 22.
22.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Seems like it's far away, but it's not.
We're getting to a point where we can advertise an RFP. It's
Okay.
not full design because we're going to get a design build firm to come in and actually finalize their design, but we'll do conceptual plans in an RFP and then advertise it. and it's $3.5 million. So the total tip amendment amount is 3.5.
So they're very aggressively advancing this project. So we should have the whole fix done between today and 3 years from now, right?
Yes, 2024 is what we're thinking for the end of construction.
That's remarkable. That's remarkable.
And
Speed.
we were lucky enough that we were able to use the existing contract on the northbound side to get that work done. It was much simpler because we don't have a lot of the structural work. So we were able to repurpose that lane and use the existing contract for the express lanes project to do it. But we want to get this improvement done as soon as we can.
So paperclip that. Yeah, 25th. You have. You can probably see it right here. You see, this is the 36 on ramp.
Right, that's exactly it.
And then actually this one right here, the outside, you have two lanes coming in from 36th Street, and then they're rapidly merging in before the exit. So a lot of the friction is people trying to get out of each other's way. As soon as you get on the ramp, poof, it goes. So it's just too short. You know,
It's what we were talking. It's the combination of people using it for local trips, short interchange spacing, and that weaving, and it's just friction, constant friction.
But you can tell, like, as soon as they exit, you can see you pick up speed, you go, you can get to and then you can have the right flow, and it goes very quickly. But it's just, you can have 10 lanes in Palmetto, and you're still going to have that friction out there, the way it is today. That's more of a interchange operations than mainline capacity.
It's the way the expressway functions. That's what it is. I mean, people use it as an arterial.
Yeah, well, the way you fix that, but you have no room, is typically when you have so many those interchanges close to each other, you basically connect them
To a CD.
outside of the Palmetto. You basically create like a little road between the two. So you get on 36, you could get off on 25th, or continue and then get on.
Yeah,
And then you have another bridge that breaks over, and then you remove the friction. They're not
Right.
trying to go like this.
If
That's
you
what
think
Final
about it
Fact
like
did.
a pipe, right? And if you separate entrance and exits of water to that pipe, you just have pipe flowing. That's what we would do in that case. We separate all that traffic that wants to get in and out and keep the main line moving. But in this case, on the Palmetto, because of the right-of-way, it's so built out, it's very difficult for us to build those connector distributor roads. So we have to think outside the box a little bit, especially through the Hialeah part,
Yeah.
to improve it.
That's kind of what they did on 595. They had the room. So you do separate the movements by bridging them over. So when you're getting on and you're getting off, you're not trying to exchange lanes. You're just crossing each other.
Face masks. Thank you for keeping all of us safe.
I've been trying to balance.
I
the
know.
whole
I'm
time.
like, I should probably sit down. But I don't know. I'm already there.
It's like a standing desk. Trying to get
That's right.
Danny,
Trying to get my steps.
we received a request to put a packet together for the agenda as a result of this tour. So whatever we handed out, we actually have to include in the agenda with the amendment package.
Okay.
In addition to that pamphlet, you said you brought pamphlets?
Yes, so
Just got 'em.
Tish has pamphlets that she'll
Okay.
hand out. We can get them to Board Member Gilbert and Board Member Diaz.
Yes, please. Yes.
That would be
As-
great.
and
But
we'll
we'll
include
provide
it
you
in the
with all the
agenda.
material.
And the pictures, when you send them to me,
I took a picture now. I know we had some pictures before, so I'll send
Yeah,
them.
what we'll do is I'll send you the survey pictures of the striping and the marking in the field that we have, and then we'll send them
I just
whatever
took a
additional.
couple of pictures now.
Okay.
Also.
I'm going to create an electronic package to attach to your
Okay.
amendment as a result of today's tour. It's December 17th. It's in our new board chambers, Mayor. Yeah, we were fortunate, actually very fortunate to the set of circumstances that we moved. because now we have a huge chamber and everybody's 6 feet apart with plexiglass on both sides in the chamber. So it's all social distance, CDC. It's right across the street for our new chamber. So hopefully you'll like it. And yeah.
I'm sure somebody's gonna whine about it. But that's just the way it goes. It's on record. Don't worry about it. It doesn't bother me.
Attention.
What happened was in the chamber, remember in the chamber with 25 board members, we were very cramped. Imagine if we had not moved. Now during COVID, we would have we wouldn't be able to meet. So we're very lucky that we actually have the new chamber that's just being finished.
Thank God. That's been a lot.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting to be there.
Yeah. No, we're going to try to set it up so that you attend virtually, so that you don't have to actually
really?
be there in person. Zainab's project, she's trying to work on that to see
Okay.
if we can do that, that would allow you to come in and be fully responsive to the
Okay.
board, but not actually in person.
Okay.
Otherwise, then we'll need you.
Okay. I know we're doing the committee meetings in person.
I'm sorry?
Eileen, I think we're doing the committee meetings in person.
I didn't hear you.
The committee meetings are being done in
Right.
person, right?
I don't have to set up that yet.
Okay.
I'm not able to do a virtual connection yet. I'm working on that.
Okay.
So you
I'll be at
have-
TPC.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
And that's not generally recorded or anything. All we did is we have two rooms and we combined it into one.
Are we done?
Okay.
On the 18th floor, we
Right.
joined two rooms together to be super spread out.
Okay. Then are we done?
Are there any questions before we pull into the park and ride lot so we can have the mics on and record it? No questions? No questions? Okay. I think we're done. Thank you very much, everybody.